Here is how to replace the rear wiper blade on this Alfa Romeo Stelvio without breaking it. Alright guys, so here's what happened. I was trying to remove this wiper blade to replace it, and I managed to break this off of the wiper blade assembly, as you guys can see right there, okay? Unfortunately, this is kind of brittle. You know, this is a 2021 vehicle. We're now in 2025. So this was brittle, and also I didn't know exactly how to do it, okay? So it takes some a little bit of technique to get this off, and I want to show you guys how to do it. And the first thing that I noticed is that you can't really go up very far to remove this, okay? This doesn't go up, it's limited. And the first thing that you basically have to do is to remove this cover right here. And all you do is you pull from the side, okay? You pull this apart and then you push up at the same time, okay? You can do it with one hand if you want, like that, pushing it apart. Or if you use both hands like this, it also works. Once you've done that, then you can lift this up further, okay? And it's gonna look like that. And this is gonna make it a lot easier for you guys to go ahead and take this off, okay? And this is the part where I messed up. I'm gonna show you guys a replay of how I managed to break this off. I was basically doing it the wrong way. I was grabbing like this and then kind of twisting it and trying to pry it off, and it didn't work, okay? I managed to break it like that. Okay, unfortunately, this thing can happen to you guys, but not if you watch this video. So I went ahead and ordered a new wiper blade assembly. So let's go ahead and take this out of the box just to show you guys what it looks like, okay? So here I have the assembly. I just want to show you guys that it's pretty much exactly as the old one, okay? This is the new assembly, all right? This was 20 bucks on Amazon. I'm going to put a link in the video description. But basically, I'm just going to go ahead and replace the entire thing. And what I want to show you guys in this video is how to remove this wiper blade from the assembly, okay? So notice right here what it looks like right there, okay? This kind of goes in there like that. There is a sweet spot right there where this thing goes in and out like that, okay? As you guys can see right there. Goes in and out, no issues. So this is what it should look like when you're trying to remove it, as you guys can see right there, okay? You get it to that point, and it's going to come off like that. Now, how do you do that, okay? If I put it in, let me go ahead and put it in. It kind of snaps in place, okay? Now, this is the tricky part, okay? If this has been on the vehicle for many years and you're trying to remove it, it's going to be a little bit hard to get it to the right position, okay? So basically, the best way that I found to do it now that I broke it is by putting my finger right here, okay, in this spot right here. And then I'm going to grab this piece, which is the one that's swiveling. Okay, I'm going to grab it like this, and as I hold this firm with this thumb, I'm going to twist this one up like in this direction. Okay, I'm going to twist it up like this, and you're going to hear a pop. Okay, it's going to pop like that. Okay, the reason why I put my thumb here is to provide some support so this thing doesn't break as it did here. Okay, so I'm putting my finger here, and then I'm going to go ahead and twist just like that, and then it's going to come loose just like that, okay? So again, you're gonna have to use a little bit of force depending on how long you've had this on the vehicle. This one is brand new, so it's very easy to do. But just remember, you put your thumb here, kind of apply pressure there, and then you twist it. You know, all the work is being done by this hand right here. You're gonna grab this like that and then twist it, okay? Like this, you kind of come off. I was doing it wrong, you know, when I did it, I was grabbing the entire thing like this, okay, and kind of twisting it, but also holding it with my finger like that, and that's how I broke it off. I didn't know exactly how to do it, okay? So now you know. So now let me show you guys the next part of the video, which is basically how to replace this entire assembly here. And what you're gonna notice here is that there's a 10mm nut right here. So you're gonna need to remove that, okay? I already loosened it, so I'm just gonna head and continue removing it, okay? And then the next part that was tricky for me was getting this thing off, okay? Unfortunately, this thing was pretty much rusted out. I was trying to pry it off with, you know, a lot of force, and it wasn't budging at all. So I ended up spraying it with WD-40, and I left it there. I sprayed it a few times. And the picture you're seeing here is me wrapping a shop towel around this, the base of the wiper blade assembly, so that when I sprayed the WD-40, it wouldn't spray all over the car and get on the paint and all of that. You don't want WD-40 on you, especially on your paint, because you're gonna damage your paint. And after about an hour, I was finally able to pry this off. And notice that this is just a metal piece that kind of goes in there, you know, just like that. Okay, but over time, this is gonna rust out, and this is gonna be difficult to remove. Okay, but this is what it looks like once it's removed. As you guys can see, you see a lot of rust right there. So what I'm going to do next is to use a wire brush to brush off some of this rust right here, and then I'm going to apply some anti-seize grease on there so that it doesn't rust out again. All right, so let me go ahead and do that, and then we're going to apply the new wiper blade assembly. Just be careful that when you're doing this with the wire brush, you're not hitting this rubber piece right here, okay? Because otherwise you're gonna damage that. So just be aware of that. All right, let me show you guys the grease that I'm gonna be using is this one right here. So you can pick up any type of anti-seize grease. Basically, I'm using this aluminum anti-seize lubricant right here. You can also use something like this. You know, this is white lithium grease, okay? So something like that will work. So once you have your grease, I'm gonna go ahead and apply it here. So let me go ahead and, I'm gonna use a Q-tip to apply some of this on here. So now that I got a decent amount of grease on there, I'm gonna go ahead and attach this piece on there. You may notice that this will come with its own cover right here, not fully attached. So I'm gonna go ahead and snap this on there. So this is pretty easy. It's gonna look like this, kind of similar to the one that comes with the car. Okay, I'm gonna snap it in there. All right, and this comes down like this. Okay, just like that. The nice thing about this one is that this will allow me to, in the future, to replace this wiper blade without having to remove this cover here. So because this one has a wider angle compared to the stock one. Look how much higher this one goes. With the stock one, it doesn't really allow you to go up, you know, very far. And the reason why it doesn't work is because it's got this plastic piece right there inside that prevents this thing from going up further. Okay, so that's just the way it's been designed. Okay, but this other one does allow you to go much higher. So let me go ahead and remove this right here, that sleeve. So right now, since I have to attach it, I do have to have this moved out of the way. So let me go ahead and do that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in there just like that, okay? And then I'm just gonna have to eyeball it, make sure that I got it right around in the correct spot. So that looks about right there. So once I have it in there, then I'm gonna go ahead and push it down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the nut on there and attach that. All right, guys, so the new wiper blade assembly is in place, as you guys can see right there, and it's not going anywhere. So if I were to replace this in the future, it's gonna be a lot easier because I can just lift it like this. And then again, I'm gonna go ahead and do it like this, you know, twist it off. And that's how I'm gonna be able to replace this in the future. Okay, so it's gonna be a lot easier. Don't have to deal with this anymore. All right, so that's it, guys, for this video. I'm gonna let you guys know in the comments whether this thing is gonna be durable or not. So far, it's looking pretty good. As you guys can see, it's pretty similar to the stock one. This is a 13-inch wiper blade, by the way. So it's exactly as the original one here. So give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe for more Alfa Romeo content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.